gonna be another Harlem storm.
Harlem. Yeah. Said you did it, but have you ever lived it? Say you could take a punch, but can you give it? Can you see shit and mind your business? Bullets flying, oh, that's how you living? See shit without snitching? Forget what you seen like old pictures? Can you take pain and not yell? Get your own
Yo, it's Harlem Storm back again, bringing you prison and urban stories from a female point of view. Because it ain't all good and it damn sure ain't all easy. Who is actually going to bring justice to Alpo's murder? Is it going to be Paparazzi Poe? Is it going to be his son? Is it going to be the law? We all know what the law thinks about dope dealers. Okay? But the thing about dope dealers is they're people too. And the law is supposed to work for them too. There's been no updates on anybody caught, the cops, anybody looking for, any kind of justice except his son. And that I can understand. His son went on social media and actually spoke about the quote of, if it doesn't come out in the wash, it comes out in the rinse. It seems like a lot of his friends have turned their back on him, and that's a terrible thing. You lose your father, and people, I know how Harlem is. Harlem is, back in the day was a very, very tight community. So it hurts even more when somebody is going to turn their back on you and they grew up with you, man. They grew up with you, and, the trials and tribulations of being miseducated because the school's educating any black kids in the hood. Flat out. Okay? So the question is, Alpo's son wants justice. He wants justice, I think, any kind of way. Don't quote me on that, but it sounds like some street justice that he was talking about, okay? Because it sounds like he doesn't have any backup, and if I have to go out there and, find my father's killer myself, I will. And I can understand that. I can understand that feeling, okay? Because whatever his father did had nothing to do with him, with his son. He's got a couple of other sons too. I don't see or hear them speaking about getting any type of justice or going after the person or making things right, to whereas the law is put pressure on the law to whereas they solve the murder. Why? Why is that? It's because of his profession, because he was a street dude, okay? That's why the cops just kicked that to the curb, okay? That's my opinion, okay? Y'all tell me what you think. I'm gonna open up the comments for that, all right? And it's a situation where somebody's got to solve it. Somebody's got to solve it. Because if not, then what you're saying is people can get gunned down on the street anytime. It's not important what a person did. It's a fact that that can go on and happen in the street and nothing is done about it. Okay? And that's what they do to black communities. They do not solve murders quickly. Okay? And if they do, by the time they solve it, okay, 15, 20 years later, like the Tupac situation, it's kind of like dead and buried. Okay, so the person doesn't even wind up getting any time or whatever. It is what it is. A person was killed. And I always try to put myself in another person's shoes, you know what I'm saying? And I know that if my father got killed, I'd want some street justice ASAP also. Okay? I can just imagine losing your father, regardless of what he did for a living. Okay? That was the way out. That's why I tell y'all youngins, the game's been sold. Y'all can't do the game the way we did it back in the day. It's a whole different situation. The game's been sold. Y'all gonna have to come up with a new approach. Y'all gonna have to come up with a new plug, because trying to do it the way the OGs did it, it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna wind up in jail. You're gonna wind up in jail doing some serious time. Okay? Serious time. Okay? Don't even try it. I'm not saying don't go out there in the street and make money. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't try to do it the way we did it back in the day from Harlem, okay, or South Bronx. Okay, don't try to do that from the game. First of all, everything got fentanyl in it. So you go out there trying to sling some stuff. Next thing you know, you in jail for murder. But what does that have to do with, going out there trying to, make a little something to put food on the table? I could see both sides of it. Okay, I see both sides of it. Okay, I've seen little grannies, from the Ozarks in prison that you'd never think. I mean, you're talking like Aunt B, okay? She looked like Aunt B. And she told me, well, this is the way we rob a bank. And I'm going, are you serious? You look like you're from the Andy Griffith Show. And she laughed. She got a good laugh out of that one. Okay? And I could just picture her going into a bank, with her little basket, and her little checkered cotton cloth covering the muffins you think are in that little basket. And then she moves over the little cloth and pulls out a gun and says, give me everything and no dye packs. Okay? So the streets are always going to be out there, okay, to get a few dollars. But the way that we did it, that's dead. That is dead. It ain't going to happen. Okay? Because this generation, they all think about, I'm going to go out and get the bag, I'm going to get the bag, I'm going to get the bag. You don't even know how the game really works, how it started. Okay? But however it started, okay, the game's been sold, bro. The game has been sold. This is Harlem Storm. Till next time, hit that like and subscribe and notification bell, and I'll be right back at you. Because it ain't all good, and it damn sure ain't all easy.